Good day, Doctor. So before we start, I would like to introduce our group member from the Santa Maria Port. So the first member is the Sherry To Li Chen 270746, Lim Sharin 277083, Pong Siu San 277205, Tan Mei Wan 278105, and Ong Yi Jing 278164. So me as the first presenter would like to take over the first part. My name is Ong Yi Jin, metric number 278164. So before we go to the first part, I would like to explain why we choose the port in Pegang Pahang. We choose the port in Pegang Pahang as it is located in a strategic location. We believe that it can help a lot to our Malaysia's governments as it can boost up the sea trade productivity and also make the infrastructure improvement. Thus, it can raise the GDP of the nation. So the first purpose is to utilize the strategic location of these seaports. It can greatly benefit our Malaysia's government as it is a seafront port and it is connected to the South China Sea. We knew that the South China Sea is the main route which is connected with the Pacific and Indian Ocean, and it can enable Malaysia to work with other multinational companies from all around the world. For example, the Daimler AG, a manufacturing companies for the Mercedes-Benz, and the DRB Hycom, the manufacturer company for the Volkswagen. Another purpose is to cope with the growing demand of the sea cargo handling and the sea traffic. So due to the strategic location, the Pegang Pahang port is chosen to be the major port since it can transport the goods in the most effective and effortless manner. So there are many multinational companies who build up the infrastructure facilities in our port. The Malaysia port, like the port of Terengganu and the famous Kuantan port, had been serving the needs in order to fulfill the capacity of the cargo handling. There is a bigger berth needed to assist with the capacity of the cargo handling. Furthermore, it can also increase the competitive advantage among the ports. There are many ports have been competition among themselves, however, there is no strategic advantage gained. So the creation of Pegang Pahang port can enable the advantage competitive within the most near port, which is the Kuantan port. The Kuantan port mostly focus on the cargo handling from the multi-purpose berth and also the cargo handling with the special care of liquids, oil and petrol. However, the Pegang Pahang port is built to facilitate the repairing of ships and facilities as it can attract more ships and other investors to our port, and it can strengthen the purpose of this berth. So that's all for my part. I would like to pass to the next presenter.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Tan Mei Wan and my metric number is 278105. So I will continue our group presentation with the type of port that's suitable in the Pegang Pahang. So as we can see in the slide, we choose major port as a type of port which are located in the Pegang Pahang. And the port is focused on general ports by handling container cargo, roll-on, roll-off, ro-ro cargo, and some services such as ship repairing services, container repairing services, and so on. So the first one is cargo container. These cargo containers need to have regular maintenance so that the cargo can always stay in a good condition. And then it's the ship repair. So as we know, ship repair is the three most hazardous industry in the world. However, our port, Santa Maria Port, still provide this kind of service because the ship is the most important transportation in the port. Our port also involved in the internal and external trade. So due to the fact that ship may stop at the port to load and unload the cargo, so the trade may help the port increase its client base. And this ship may contribute to the port's ability to generate more income. And then is cargo handling. Our port is focused on domestic port, export, import port, and transshipment port. And our port is located in commercial area, which the port contains docks, warehouse, and cranes. So Santa Maria Port also is a non-natural port, which the port is built by the humans. The port needs to be rebuilt to provide a sturdy foundation and make the location suitable for the ship to berth. And then the Santa Maria port is a public-private partnership port. The port can gain many benefits from this kind of collaboration. And for example, the operational and project execution risks can pass to or share with the private partner, and this allowing the government to redirect funding to other crucial socio-economic areas and lower the budget deficit. This part is the type of commodities to handle by the port. So as we can see in the slide, our port provides the ro-ro berth, which is designed to carry the ro-ro vessel, which is also known as bulk cargo, such as cars, trucks, and so on. And then our port also consider the containerization size, which the Santa Maria port only handles TEU and FEU containers. So the next point is the fuel tanks. We offer a range of fuel tanks to the ship so that the ship can refuel by themselves. And then is pipeline. In contrast to the current sulfur content limit of 3.5% starting in 2020, IMO regulations will prohibit the ships from using fuels with sulfur content exceeding 0.5% unless they are equipped to reduce the sulfur emissions. So as a conclusion, our ports have provided the services that can fulfill the requirement of our customer, and our port also tend to become the main focus of the automotive industry in Pekan, Pahang. So that's all for my part, and I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Good day to Doctor and my fellow friends. I'm Cheryl Tolijan and my metric number is 270746. After my groupmate presented about the types of commodities, now I would like to continue to present about the size of ships that able to be accommodated at the port of Santa Maria. There is a wide variety of each form of cargo ships and vessels that sails the seas across this country, and this ship can transport a diverse range of goods from one location to another location because to its well thought out design. As mentioned, Pekan is a specialized industry region that consists multinational corporations including Daimler AG, Mercedes-Benz, and DRB Hycom. And these companies establish their manufacturing facilities and distribution centers in Pekan to increase the scope of their supply chain operation. Therefore, the port of Santa Maria must be able to accommodate various types of ships such as cruise ships, ferries, bulk carrier, tanker ships, but the main is the container ships and ro-ro cargo ships. It may help to improve the performance of manufacturing industries located in Pekan, Daimler AG, Mercedes-Benz, and DRB Hycom. In fact, the size of the ships that Port of Santa Maria can handle depends on how the port was designed and built. Or in other words, the sizes of the port determines the size of ships that may be berthed there. Aside from that, the depth of the water will also affect how big a ship can be accommodated at the port. The deeper the water level, the larger the ship can accommodate as well, and the depth of water in which a ship or vessel may safely sail is directly related to its draft. Draft determines the minimum depth of water a ship or boat can safely navigate. The more heavily a vessel is loaded, the deeper it sinks into the water, and the greater its draft. As Port of Santa Maria has a basin that is 16 meters deep, a 400-meter berth, and a 20-hectare cargo yard next to it that can fit standard ships and their cargo. Thus, it is comparable to the size of ships, which has a depth weight up to 150,000 tons, and it will be able to accommodate ships with the draft up to 14.5 meters. Besides that, the port can accommodate container ships up to 18,000 TEUs as well. As this port is reasonably large enough to accept vessels of this size, as well as providing sufficient equipment and facility to facilitate the flow of all cargo that enters the port. Services may be provided to vessels of this size that are adequate for their usage. That's all about the size able to accommodate at the Port of Santa Maria. Thank you.
Supply chain management is a critical strategy for business to achieve success in global and e-markets by allowing their product to enter the market faster and at the lowest overall cost. Globalization has driven the concern of organizations participating in the global supply chain. Interest rate, currency rate, tariff, custom restriction, and reliability are all included. Those factors are always shifting, causing up and down in the dirty market products. Along similar lines, ports should be required to be oriented towards supply chains in order to meet the needs of their client. It is horrendously typical for marine transportation and inland transportation corporation to join any single shifter in the world that has the potential to form long-term commercial partnership. If a supply chain is linked to the Santa Maria port, it encourages the port to cut out unnecessary logistical operation and so meet customers' demand at a lower cost. Supply chain management is a critical strategy for business to achieve success in global and e-markets by allowing their product to enter the market faster and at the lowest overall cost. Globalization has driven the concern of organizations participating in the global supply chain. Interest rate, currency rate, tariff, custom restriction, and reliability are all included. Those factors are always shifting, causing up and down in the dirty market products. Along similar lines, ports should be required to be oriented towards supply chains in order to meet the needs of their client. It is horrendously typical for marine transportation and inland transportation corporation to join any single shifter in the world that has the potential to form long-term commercial partnership. If a supply chain is linked to the Santa Maria port, it encourages the port to cut out unnecessary logistical operation and so meet customers' demand at a lower cost.
Good day to Dota and everyone, I'm Limsha and my train number is 27003. Now I'm going to explain the main 6 elements that will affect the port layout design. The first one is the regulation. For example, Santa Maria Port need to follow the Environmental Quality Act 1974 established by the Department of Environment Malaysia. And at the same time, we also need to follow the maritime rules such as the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea and so on, that established by the United Nations organizations such as the International Maritime Organization and International Labour Organization. The second element is the size of the ship. For example, Santa Maria Port built a 60-meter deep basin that could fix all kinds of the ship with a 14.5 meter drop. Besides, it can also accommodate the bulk-carrier ship with a deadweight of 150,000 tons, as well as the container ship with a capacity of 18,000 TEUs. Cargo handling equipment is the third element. Therefore, Santa Maria Port has provided various kinds of equipment to increase the port efficiency. For example, it has provided the rubber tire container gantry, the automated stacking crane, trailer carrier, and the artist for the container cargo. And for the through cargo, it has provided the topmaster and railroad trailer. The fourth element is the port control system and computerization. For example, Santa Maria Port has adopted the PNTS system to track the container and IMASAT that provide the vessel management, video transmission, and electronic data interchange. Electronic data interchange can help the port to speed up the transaction and automate tasks. The fifth element is the site condition. After doing the research, we know that the range of the depth of the water level to the backrock around the Pecan area is roughly 60 to 110 meters, so that means there's only a ship with a maximum drop of 100 meters could access Santa Maria Port. Lastly, the provision of the purpose boat should be considered also, since the Berkan industrial area consists of so many automobile companies. Santa Maria Port has specifically provided the rubber berth to accommodate all the vehicles that need to be exported from this company, as well as the container berth to meet the high containerization demand.
In conclusion, creating a seaport is not really a simple task, since the government must examine numerous factors including the geographical area surrounding Pekan Pahang. This issue may be solved by constructing a suitable seaport that can manage load and unload operations, such as the position of the berth, the layout of the port, and many more. At last, Santa Maria Port may be the most perfect port that can help the government by studying and comprehending these characteristics.